today we are going to have a mock interview with Gunjan Sharma. She's having 8+ years of total IT experience. She worked as a business analyst and recently she had cleared the Wells Fargo interview last month only. And what are the questions which we are going to ask is actually the part of the interview. So without wasting time, let's start the interview with Gunjan. So welcome Gunjan, thanks for giving your time.
Yeah, thanks, Sunan.
Yeah. So why don't you tell me about yourself?
Okay. To start with professionally, I am having around 8.5 years of experience in IT industry. Prior to that, I was having a experience in a Indian market, Indian stock broking firm. I started my career from Mumbai. So I have worked with the HDFC Securities. That is for a very, because that was a very pitching my start phase of the career. So I did the marketing, and I have to, at that time I was responsible for taking care of the demat accounts opening and all, because I have did my MBA in marketing and finance both. I started my career with marketing, and after that I have joined stock broking company, that is a here in Indian stock broking company that called Mangal Keshav Security. So my profile was as a relationship officer. In that I have to deal the orders, placing the orders which is coming from the customer. So there is a deal capture system, or you can say like a Share Khan or the other competitor Angel Booking. So they're having a portal on which they will place the orders, and I have to place those orders. It can be of the equity, futures, and commodities. These are the three critical talks or the scripts, we can say, that I need to place the order. I need to be very careful because it's the people's money. Because if one of the wrong order will go, their money will cause on toss. And I have to take care of the risk management also. If the person don't have money in their account and if he wants to place the order beyond their limit, then we need to deal with the customer that we can't take your order. So that is a part of risk management. And when I joined this company at that time, a very critical phase come, that the 2008 crisis. So I have seen that phase also when the market crashes badly, and I've seen the many failures at that time. People have burnt their money, I can say. So that was the initial phase when I have actually gone into the stock market and have seen like how the stock market works. And after that, I have from Mumbai to, I have shifted my city to Hyderabad. There I have worked with one of the forex consultancy. My job is to pitch the importers and the exporters who having around more than 100 crores of turnover, because and they their exposures will be more, and they have to hedge their risk because their import what is like importer and exporter work. The future realization means whatever the realization, suppose if you are importing today something, but you will get the payment after 2 months or after 6 months. By the time if the currency rate will change, then if they are not hedging means limiting or minimizing the risk. And I have to advise those clients, like you have to invest and take our products. You have to take there are many money market instrument, derivative instrument, in which importer and exporter will take their those position, and they will minimize the risk in the future. And they're like, if the rupee is like 70 today, and if for the importer, if it is going 70 or if it is going to 68, then it is a loss for them. So what we will do, we will advise them to take the futures of the currency, so that in the at the time of the maturity, your realization will be means you will not be in a great loss. So that kind of advising I have to do. That was for a very short period I did, and then again I joined one more stock broking company, that is the Carvey stock broking. So I was into totally, again my domain got changed. I was into the business development. I have to take care of the franchisees, and a very critical project I have handled during that time related to the Aadhaar card when installed, when it came and launched in India. So they have given these uh, uh, creation of the Aadhaar to many of the stock broking firms also. So I was responsible for that. to set up a center wherever the Aadhaar card will be made. So for that, I have given an exam also, which is conducted by the UIDAI only, Unique Identification Development Authority of India. So that was a very good project. I have seen how I have to pitch into the existing customers that take this thing also, because at that time only banks and few stockbroking companies only were responsible. But after giving the franchisee, anyone can do. If they are meeting the terms and conditions, they can set up the center and they can take the request of the customers or the people of India.
Yeah.
So that was a good project which I have worked upon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved to Bangalore. Here, my first IT break, or you can say purely in financial service company, I have joined as Thomson Reuters.
Okay.
So people are aware, like in India and overall worldwide, Thomson Reuters and the Bloomberg are the only company which is giving you the current market feeds. Now, what is market feed? Market feeds are like the current prices which you are seeing on the screen in CNBC, TV 18, or any of the economic news channel. So my job is to there was a flagship product called Icon. Thomson Reuters is a financial based company, and the most of the products are used by the financial services providers and the investment banks. So there was a product called Icon. My job is to uh, create or taking care of all the scripts. Script means securities, which is not covered in that product. So when you are seeing any chart in the product, like open, high, low, and close prices. So I was responsible to take care of that particular securities, open, high, low, and close price should be visible on that. I have to
Mm-hmm.
write a business rule on the Eclipse platform,
Mm-hmm.
and when I have to test it also in the pre-testing environment and the post-production environment. So
Mm-hmm.
after testing it, we can see the open, low, high, and low and close, all the prices,
Mm-hmm.
and any of the script, it belongs to some exchange. So exchange will also give us the data notification. There are many changes. See the
Mm-hmm.
daylight saving time. So when the daylight saving time is on or off, there will be change in the exchange open and close timings also. We have to maintain that data in our database. So I can say it as like a reference data management also I did with the Thomson Reuters. So it's purely functional testing, or you can say functional experience I have gained in the Thomson Reuters.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I have joined in the Oracle Financial Services Software, which was previously iFlix Solutions. And my first project is with the Deutsche Bank. I have worked with four of the major clients: Deutsche Bank, Citibank, State
Mm-hmm.
Street Bank, and the BNP Paribas. There is multiple projects I have worked upon. Basically, I have worked on the US regulatory reporting,
Mm-hmm.
and anti-money laundering, and
Mm-hmm.
market data management, credit risk management, and trade finance. So these
Yeah.
are the basic areas which I have worked upon. So as you can see, my career is like a full of the
Yeah.
mixed and
Roller coaster.
versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
that
great.
is the good thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is the good thing. Like I've seen the Indian stock market and the Indian how the Indian stock market and how the Indian economy runs, as
Mm-hmm.
well as along with the outside US and European banks. I've worked with all these banks,
Great.
multinational banks, how they are working. So
Great.
this
Great.
is all about my the career, Humphrey.
Great.
And I love to play the Sudokus. That is my hobby. And I'm like fitness freak, going to the gym, want to be fit
Great.
always.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all about myself.
Yeah. Thanks, Gunjan. It's you just told a lot of things about yourself, so that's great. But I was just wondering, like, why you want to switch your job? What prompted you to leave your current job?
Uh, when you are working with a service-based company like Oracle, so we have to work for a time, and my ambition is to work to become an investment banker. For that, I have to gather a good knowledge about like how the in and out, end to end process. That hardly we got that kind of project in my company. That's not because of the nature of the any service based company will not get end to end.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm working for as a consultancy, so I want to, it's my first target when I work with a bank. So this is the challenge which I have faced. Like don't have that end-to-end knowledge. That is the thing which I have pitched upon when I have targeted few banks, how they are working, what are they, because we have in banking also there are many things. Retail banking is different, corporate banking is different, and the investment banking is totally different. So
Mm-hmm.
in among these three, I'm like more keen into the investment banking. So I
Mm-hmm.
have, when I got the opportunity from the Wells Fargo, so
Mm-hmm.
I like they have interviewed me and I like the profile and the project because I have already worked on similar kind of projects with regulatory reporting.
Mm-hmm.
So in that way, it helped me. Oracle experience also helped me. And
Okay.
here I have to work with a big team and I do different tools and all. I have to use the same product we are using in the Oracle, but I never got a chance to see that product actually. But here I have to work upon. And
Okay.
that
Okay.
is the only reason for growth opportunities only I just want to change. And change is
Okay.
the only thing which is constant.
Okay. That's great. Okay. So you just mentioned about tools, right? So what are the different tools which you consider the most important for a business analyst to do their job well?
Surely, basically you have to know about the process flow, should articulate the requirement into a diagram or an
Mm-hmm.
activity diagram or you can say in a flow chart. So that
Mm-hmm.
is the best way to categorize the requirement, input and the output and the process. That is the basic flow. And
Mm-hmm.
tools wise, if you are talking about the banks who have a huge data that they can't preserve it in the bookkeeping format. We need SQL or the data big database. Their
Mm-hmm.
own repository will be there. From there, you can extract the data. So you should be having a good experience with the SQL. VBA is also good if you are good into that. And the
Mm-hmm.
macros and the Excel because you have to present. You should be
Okay.
very good in the Excel. Yeah. And if you know the nowadays data visualization tool, Tableau and all, if you know about that, that is also an additional factor or add-on advantage point for you. You will have to
Okay.
present the data.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned about requirements and all. So how you actually gather your requirements? Could you just tell us the complete end-to-end flow?
Requirements will be started with the discussion with the stakeholder. Lot of coordination with the stakeholder is the first thing how the requirement comes in. Many times the requirement will come as a single statement only. And we need to pitch in into the like what is the current scenario, what is the current process. We have to document it and whatever the documentation we are prepared, it will be comes in the form of the BRD, that is the business requirement document, and the functional specification document, and the use cases. There is a specific format, and all these documents have the basic thing. They will introduction why we need this requirement, why this, what is the objective of this requirement, what is the uh, who are the stakeholder who is going to use this requirement, what is the functional requirement, what are the non-functional requirements, what are the issues, constraints, everything will be constraints and the risk, all these things will be covered. So basically more and more the coordination and the communication with the stakeholder is the only thing. Whatever the flow charts or the process flow diagram which we are preparing, we will confirm, we have to schedule a call and a detailed planning call will be conducted with the stakeholders. Based on that, they will also give their input and on that way the requirement will be finalized and given it to the afterwards to the development team. And we
Okay.
need to make them understand also why functionally also as well as the technical, because technical input mainly given by the development team. We have to make them understand or we have to groom them why this requirement is required, and
Mhm.
in that way we are like gathering the requirement.
Okay.
Here in like communication and the coordination is very much important and is the only tool. After that, all these documents and the flow, everything will go.
Okay.
So we have a subject matter experts, product owner, big team is there, business user, actual business users,
Mm-hmm.
client side business analysts will also come in. They will also give their input. that way we will gather, give and take, and then we will finalize the requirement.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so can you give me any scenarios where you did automation and how it helped your users and users?
Yeah, I remember one automation, or you can say we have developed an application in State Street project. My project is related to we have to gather the business data or financial data from different sources like Bloomberg, Reuters, ratings like from Moody's, S&P, and Fitch. So the problem statement was that business user in after every quarter, Fed Bank, which is the US main regulatory bank, they need to review the ratings of the securities on time to time. As and when they are changing or updating the or downgrading the ratings, it won't get automatically updated in our database. And this is a very critical data based on which any bank will give a loan. So rating is also an important factor when you are giving a loan. Rating, when we are applying for a personal loan, they also have a check our credit rating. So in the same way, when banks is giving loans to their counterparts or to the other banks, they will also check the rating. So whenever in a quarterly review or any corporate action will happen, these banks will keep on changing the rating. And in a day or in a quarter, there will be like thousands of securities are there where the ratings got changed. So we have to do it manually previously, or it's not like that. That 100 ratings got 100 securities got changed. So it's not directly coming us to directly as a like you have to change it. The users want to change the rating which they want to use. Every time they have to come back to us that this is not updated in the database, we are getting the wrong rating. In Bloomberg, it is showing something, but in our database, it is something. In the downstream, it is showing something. So we have to do it manually. So what this is the problem statement. So what we did, we developed an application. We gave it very simple and the user-friendly application where you have to just enter the RIC or the security for which the rating got changed, why it is changed, and there is we have given a control to the users, specific users only where they can change the rating. So this will actually reduce the manual efforts by like when any rating got changed, it will take 24 hours because the rating will come, we get usually by mail. There is no other notification by which we got to know that user want to update that rating. So in that way, they can only change the rating. So it reduce a lot of manual effort and their process also because they have to they are like the working on the very big models, credit risk models, which they need to use. So by this they have like from 24 hours or the days they have reduced. In a matter of a click only they can change the rating, and the backend operation is handled by our team only, which Oracle only developed. So there is a big automation. This is a very big change which we have did in one of our projects, which is the State Street Bank.
Okay, thanks, Kunjan. So, can you tell me some of the key challenges which you faced as a BA, as a business analyst, maybe in terms of stakeholder or in terms of handling different team members or something like that?
Usually it will come when the requirement, there is a frequent change in the requirement. Even though we have a planning session before taking up any requirement, there is a detailed discussion, but still there are some circumstances or the situation will come where the requirement needs to change. So that is a basic hurdle which we used to face from the stakeholders when we need to convince to them that already the sprint got started and we have a limited time. So if in between the any requirement will come, so we will have always be have a buffer time, or we will mostly have to convince that we will push it to the next sprint. And sometimes the uh, team members won't understand the requirements completely. So it's not like that the blunder will happen, but yeah, few here and there the requirement keeps on changing, but in demo only we got to know. And there is additional work to the team members. Again, we need to go back to them and then tell them that this is not a correct requirement. And sometimes in the documentation also, something is written, it's not properly what whenever we giving the walkthrough, if the questions are not coming properly on that time, at that time we development team is like not in a clear notion that this is the requirement, it should come like this, but it is the result will be something different. And sometimes coordination also, as we have uh, overall in like we are in the offshore and the on-site, so coordination problems sometimes it will happen when we are like the project is distributed in the across overall worldwide. That is the main challenges we have faced, especially the requirement change as a business analyst.
Okay, and I can see your resume. You have predominantly worked with the investment banking domain, right? So could you just tell me about what is credit risk?
Credit risk is a type of a risk when two counterparts, when you are giving a loan to any other person, and that person is don't have that much credibility. His income is like less, but he's demanding the loan from that. Then there will be a, like whatever the credit we have given to that person. It's in a very layman language. I'm telling you. So credit is when you have a doubt that the other person to whom you have given a loan, it will come back to us, come back to with the interest and with the principal payment come back to you on the proper time or not. That is the credit risk. So it can be by the default, or there can be a liquidity risk. There will be different forms of this market risk. So there is a demarcation between the market risk and the credit risk. So credit risk it depends on the ratings and all. So before imparting loan to any of the customer, bank used to see their credibility, what is the capital, what is their nature, how much they can repay by seeing their credit history. So that is the risk that is already before imparting loan to the customer, the bank needs to check.
Okay, and could you just tell me about what are future derivatives?
Future derivatives is another type of instrument which is traded on the exchange to make you understand about the futures. Futures is always derivatives. As you can see, the in a word only, derivative means derived. Something whose value is derived based on something. So there will always be some underlying instrument. It can be anything: equity, commodity, currency, interest rate. These are the underlying. So future instrument will always their prices will be derived based on these underlying price movement. So it will always be traded on the exchange. To trade in the future derivatives, you need initial margin amount. Without that, you can't trade in the future derivatives. And there is a certain maturity period also, like 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months in future derivatives. And it is always regulated by the stock exchanges. This is all about the future derivative. There will be a less credit risk in the future derivatives because it is regulated by the stock exchange. As in, there is a different product forward, which is like out of the exchange, over the counter, we can say. So there is that is a separate product, but future is always be traded on the exchange.
Okay, I think we are good, Gunjan. Yeah, thanks for your time. And you have anything for me, or we can close this interview?
Nothing such. It was a good talking with you.
Okay.
This is actually having a core domain experience into the investment banking. If anyone, I'm having a I like to share the knowledge about the person who is like layman in the equity or those who don't know the financial terms. I will be like happy to explain them in a very layman. I'm very good in that, and I love to share the imparting the same knowledge to other people also. That is the only thing. It's good talk
Uh,
with you.
yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot for your time, Gunjan. It's really nice talking to you. You have shared your experience, and I'm sure our whoever going to watch this video, they are going to benefit out of it. So thanks again for your time, and I hope like we will make more videos in future. Maybe with your new experience and with your new team members and all.
Sure. Thank you.